What's up, Jason Guy here, and welcome to a free-for-all on Backlot with the MP5K silent. No, it's not the MP5K, because that's the one without the stock in it, the more submachine gun. Isn't this a carb? I don't even know. My gun knowledge is a little above average, but still not great. I must say the main thing that led me down in this gameplay was my insistence on listening to music. It just it improves the entire experience, I must say. So I can't hear when guys are walking around the corner. In fact, probably the same as you won't be able to, if that makes any sense. Because right now we have Alesso losing my Palladium. It's Alesso and those other people that I can't remember the name of, who will probably come back to me just after I finish recording this commentary. It's such not a shame, but Alesso is the only guy so far. I like every single thing that he does. For some reason, I haven't found anyone who can match his musical talents. So, here we are, and it is, Tuesday the 7th of May. We're almost halfway through the year, jeez. I hope everyone had a nice bank holiday off yesterday. I certainly know I did, spending my time relaxing after a ridiculous adventure out to Alton Towers, which is very far away, if you understand my geography and the geography of the country I live in, which is England, of course, unless for some reason people had misguided ideas that perhaps I lived in. Where else could I live in the world? I'd like to try some other places. I'd like to live up over in the US or Canada or something like that. Anyway, we are getting tangential. That place is amazing, by the way. I have never, ever been on a ride before, or a theme park, before going there, and the first thing I went on to kind of kick off my little ride career, I suppose you'd say, was the Oblivion, and I guess that's an interesting place to start. It was 15 pretty darn intense seconds, I must say. I'm not sure if I would be willing to queue up for a substantial amount of time, but that was a lot of fun. There was fast rides. There wasn't really any slow rides. There was a couple of things were slightly disappointing there. I kind of don't want to go into things because I doubt anyone has a working knowledge of the place unless they've been there in the last 6 months or so. The Nemesis Subterra was kind of rubbish. It wasn't a ride as such, more of a experience, I might say. It was kind of unconvincing, and I've played enough video games to kind of know how these things work, so I wasn't really that spooked out. It's kind of like a horror-esque experience, and it was average at best. The one good bit was when you were kind of under pressure to run to the elevator. That was quite interesting. In the news, actually, some interesting things have been occurring. Of course, thank goodness those three American ladies have been returned after I believe they were kidnapped 10 years ago, which is just an incredible turn of events. I think there is a window for kidnappings, when after the window elapses, the chances of getting them back reduces, drastically. It's kind of the same with, like, when someone dies, or like when their heart stops, there's like a window. Anyway, they were pretty much given up on, well, of course their family weren't going to give up on them, but, the chances of getting them back were slim to naught, but they've been found, so which is fantastic. But more importantly for today's commentary, or more connected, is the firing of the first American printed weapon. 3D printers are kind of new technology. Hopefully they're going to be refined and expanded on in the future. I would love to be able to order something off the internet and just print it out. I would totally torrent a car. Why not? Just because you can. I think as it stands right now, I think plastic is the only material that is printable. So it doesn't have entirely encyclopedic application. Obviously, if you were to make a full-size gun out of plastic, it would melt within 3 shots, because of the barrel. The barrels get incredibly hot when you're shooting a gun. Imagine firing a machine gun. You could cook bacon off the end of a machine gun. It's that impressive. So you couldn't make an entire weapon out of one, but out of plastic, that is. But parts of a weapon, you could make something like a receiver out of, or a bolt. Could you make a bolt of like a bolt-action sniper? I think they're most commonly made out of glass, because that is the smoothest sliding action you can have. But I'm pretty sure you can make one out of plastic as well. So the first gun that has been printed has been shot in the US. This is going to be interesting, working on how to regulate these kind of things. Of course, guns in America are already ridiculously easy to get hold of, and being able to print one at home just seems a little bit too extravagant. Please tell me in the comment section below what you think. I'm sure the pro-gun owners will love that idea, but me, myself, I'd prefer a little more protection, a little more regulation of these kinds of materials. I've been Jake the Guy, this has been Call of Duty 4, and Alesso and the other person who I'm gonna look right now because Alesso, REM, those are the people. Alesso versus REM, losing my Palladium. A link will be in the description, as with all of the music I ever use. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I've been Jake the Guy. Again. For some reason I felt the need to clarify that. I don't know. My openings, or my endings seem to be a little lacking at times. I kind of want to give a sense that I genuinely do care about the quality of the rest of your day. But I also don't want to drag it on. Maybe perhaps I should just leave with a catchphrase or something, like, yeah. I've been Jake the Guy. Chitty sprinkles.